I believe we are joined by a special guest now, live from Gaza. Let's see if they are here. Abubaker, are you with us? Let's see.
Hi.
Hi, you are there. Hello. Hi.
Hello,
Hi,
how are
Abubaker. It's so
you?
good to see you.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you again. Absolutely. Hi, Asa. So we have another now host, yes?
Hi,
Hi.
it's
Switching
great
it
to
up
see you.
today.
Yeah. We're mixing it up a little bit. Nothing gets by you, Abubaker. It's so good to see you. We've missed you, and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I know from following you and from reading your tweets that people are going through extraordinary difficult times on top of the extraordinary difficult times they're already facing. And you've been reporting from being out and about among people, visiting them in their tents where they're trying to survive in absolutely freezing conditions. Tell us about what's going on right now in Gaza.
Yes, as you said, it's extraordinarily difficult circumstances for people at the moment because especially during these hours of the night when temperatures are dropping and people the living conditions for them are absolutely insurmountable because just when I went and visited some families and they are just trapped in a very flimsy and leaky tents with absolutely nothing at all. They have just one mattress or a couple of mattresses and they are a family of 8 members and most of the families are children and they just share 2 blankets and 2 mattresses, which is incredibly insane and unimaginable at all. And at the same time, it's not about the freezing temperatures, but during the night hours when it rains and pours, people people's tents are flooded. And it's not only flooded by the rains, it's also flooded by the sewage surrounding them because they are living amid the sewage and the litter and the stagnant pools of garbage. And also, nothing has changed on the ground regarding the humanitarian situation because there have been now people are more encouraged to speak up against the humanitarian organizations and they have spoken up now. We've seen many individuals on social media and other places they have spoken up against humanitarian organizations because they're not working on the ground, and this is a result and a symptom of Israel's continued blockade of the crossings. And at the same time, it's not only about this, but it's also about the continuous looting of aid trucks and the hijacking of all those trucks coming to the strip. So people in Gaza right at the moment are facing inevitable death coming from every direction, from the starvation, from the bombings, and from the from freezing. So I just today sat with the father of Jamal Batran. Probably tomorrow I can put the son of his, this young baby up who died yesterday from hypothermia, and he told me that during the night hours, I felt that he died because he did not show any signs at all, any human signs at all. So there were no lively signs, and he was just he really died. And when he told me that when he first touched him, he was like ice. He really felt like ice. So he was just a yeah, this one. And yes, he was just like, a cube of ice in his hands. And he just took him and rushed to the hospital. And they told him immediately that he died because the temperature that he really had was under probably 30. And he is just 1.6 kilograms. He's a month old and he's just 1.6 kilograms. And I asked him, like, if you look at the picture
It's about
here, the
three
father,
pounds. It's
yeah,
about 3 pounds.
so it's 1.6 kilograms. I don't know really switching like measurements to be honest, but it's 1.6 kilograms. And at the same time, like just one more important thing is that like they have just 4 blankets, 4 torn blankets, and they live in a very dilapidated tent where they have where it's just made up of some ripped apart blankets and a few pieces of nylon, to the level that he told me that I just bring the garbage and fire and make some fire from them to make sure that the tent, that my children can feel warm, the tent can have some sort of heat. This is absolutely the most horrific. Like every day in Gaza, we are seeing new traumas, new tragedies. And it's not all about him. His clothes are ripped apart. His sandals are ripped apart. His children are barefoot most of the time. And I can tell you, the vast majority of the children, if not all of them in Gaza at the moment, they are just sleeping on the streets. Look, imagine, people are now sleeping in the open air. They just use now empty lands, empty agricultural lands to set up their tents on. So people are already literally sleeping in the open air. So it's very anticipated that those people will die. But it continues because Israel bans building materials from entering the strip, bans containers from getting into the strip at the same time, and bans even the bags, I don't know what they are named, to be honest with you. They are called. There are specific bags for people who are living in tents or who are normally hiking. They are also banned. While humanitarian organizations are coming into the strip, and just rent the most, luxurious apartments in Gaza and in Deir al-Balah and Khan Yunis and spend their time on, but they are not ready to turn their attention to what is happening and just helping a few people and to show and masquerade as a humanitarian people, but the fact is absolutely otherwise.
And the Western media coverage of this, to the extent that even exists, has been really shameful. I saw earlier today, Abubaker on Twitter, the Sky News headline about this terrible case, and it said something along the lines of this baby who died from exposure to the cold, said something along the lines of victim of neglect. And I saw you responding to that and shaming the Sky, the Sky News for posting this lie. That as if like this it's just a Palestinian father not taking care of his baby. That's the implication. It's really disgusting. They're completely ignoring the fact that our own government in Britain is actively involved in the systematic, genociding of people in Gaza through various causes, not only through the direct deaths, but causes like this.
And remember that in the Genocide Convention, and this is the convention under which South Africa is bringing Israel to the International Court of Justice, it says the following: in the present convention, genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group as such. A, killing members of the group. B, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. And C, this is what's relevant for what we're watching or what we're talking about now in particular, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. And so when you deprive an entire population of food, of fuel, of electricity, of shelter, of the means to even build tents, you are knowingly inflicting on them conditions of life calculated to bring about their physical destruction. And we know from everything we've seen in the past 15 months that this physical destruction begins with the most vulnerable, the youngest, the oldest, the people with chronic illnesses, the people with acute illnesses, the people who may have a stroke or a heart attack, but there's no hospital to go to because Israel destroyed the hospital, kidnapped the doctors, or murdered them. And so to paint these deaths as anything other than deliberate part of the genocide is genocide denial.
Exactly.
Is Abubaker still with us? I thought, yeah. Go ahead, Abubaker. You can hear us.
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, I did not hear the last question. I'm sorry.
We were talking, Ali was just talking about the genocide conventions, and, letting Israel continue to do this is genocide denial, and it's being supported by the Western media that is covering for Israel's crimes here. Painting this father as somehow neglectful, instead of pointing the finger at the actual culprit of these crimes, which is Israel. How do you even begin to process, what these crimes, these repeated violations of, morals and ethics, anything that we hold dear as human beings, as parents who sacrifice everything for our children, for this father that you interviewed, who was unable to keep his baby warm, not because of anything he did or didn't do. It is because of Israel. It is because of the US. It is because of the UK, Germany, keeping this Holocaust going.
Yeah, I think, look, as I said, in the end, there is a deliberate attempt at dehumanizing the entire Palestinian population. And I don't know what composition these people are made from, because it's literally inhuman and monstrous that you are going to justify something like this while you have the best ways of life and the best life means. But then while you are while people are, shivering with fear and cold and even hunger, then you're going to put something up to tell the Israelis to continue and press ahead with their genocide. This is something that I haven't found, reason why they're doing this. Because again, the UK, the US, and other countries that are complicit in the genocide, even including the Arab world. And sorry, I just have to say this. Look, I don't understand politics, but the new president of Syria, this one, and he hadn't spoken up on Palestine, on Gaza, a single word, and he just starts being sycophantic to the Arab world leaders. That is a very, very obvious indicator that he's been elected, but he has been put by the US in this presidency position. So it's very clear. So the US is not going to choose someone or elect someone to help the Palestinian people. So there are the double standards of the Western community. There is the discrimination and the mere facades of their human rights campaigns that have always caused us headache. But now they are just applying to some people, not the Palestinian people, not the Sudanese, not the Lebanese, and not the other traumatized and marginalized categories of this world. So what I see is that it's also important, it's very important, and this is what I see it, because many journalists, even I've been talking to journalists from BBC, from Sky News and other places, I understand, I comprehend that there is inner pressure on those journalists to speak up against Palestine. But this is not an excuse to just speak against Palestine. This is not just an excuse to justify and launder genocide, because it's completely, enraging that you are writing something like this because you want to get money. It's important to become a human, not a cheap parrot just parroting and regurgitating what the Israelis are saying. This is not even journalism. And we are not even journalists. We are genocide documentarists. So just feel what we are going through here. Feel what the children are going through, given the fact that half of the population is children in Gaza. So history will remember them, and shame will always chase them. for all eternity. And when they feel remorseful, there is no way to repent or bounce back from this huge setback and egregious failure to show their humanity and become just money or payers. That's what I can say.
Well, Abubaker, it's
Can you hear me?
yeah,
I
we
don't
we
know if
lost
can
you.
hear
We
me.
lost
Oh,
you a little bit, but we are so extraordinarily grateful to you for continuing to report, and we pray for your safety and protection, for you, your family, for everyone around you, for everyone in Gaza. We know that it's a struggle for all of us. We're working hard to keep attention focused on Gaza, not to allow that attention to slip away. And you, the extraordinary work you do, helps us to do that so much. And we just want you to be as careful as possible always, and to look after yourself as best as you can in this situation that defies words.
Abubaker. Oh,
Yeah. Thank you, Abubaker.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me? I just want to say, like, can you hear me? Because I know like the line is
Yeah.
very difficult. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, we
I
can
Go
hear
don't
you.
ahead,
think
go
you
ahead,
can hear me.
Abubaker. We
But
hear you.
okay. So just yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm sorry for the fragile internet connection, but it's not in my hands. But again, wherever we say this is a new year, and a new year that will hold more tragedies, that will hold more horrors, and things are changing on the ground. That is incredibly saddening and sickening that people will be going through such like more and more countless tragedies, and I don't know have the words to describe it, but yeah, thank you for everything you do. And I'm sorry, the line is very, very difficult. The internet connection is very fragile as well. So thank you so much. That's what I can say. Bye bye.
thank you, Abubaker.
Thank you, Abubaker.
Thank
We
you.
hope to speak to you again soon.